been a minute since we did an update from the garage here, so I wanted to just sound off. Sorry it's been a minute. We've discovered much about S650. A lot we didn't know. A lot I didn't know. So, on tap for today, a couple of things. We got a pressure washer, so we're going to put that together. We're going to scrub this dirty bitch. But in the meantime, let me go over what it is I'm excited about. Which means we gotta look under the hood. Alright, let's release you. There we go. Everybody looks good in here. Okay, you can see why I gotta wash it. Look at that shit. Wild beasts run through the night here. Alright, and let me get my torch. So, you have an S650. You want to tune it. And you want to tune the basics before you do any serious power adders. The only power adder I have, maybe even arguably power adder, is the Roush intakes. Which, let's be honest, Roush, thanks for the filters, buddy. Right? And the little windows. Lights not included. But, other than that, before you're slapping on headers, before you're slapping on, bigger throttle bodies or what have you, before you're putting on a supercharger, you got to learn the basics. And on the previous 3 generations, that meant playing around with your MAF curve, right, as the primary driver. And so on this system, I've got MAF number 1, and I've got MAF number 2. And in my tables, I have 2 MAF tables, and I can calibrate them. All good. And in fact, I've done this, right? This tune that I'm running right now has calibrated MAFs. And so I thought to myself, great, with them tight, I'll turn on my speed density math, my cylinder error anticipation, and I should get a nice, clean trims across the board. Nope. In fact, it's about 5% lean across the board, which is not terrible. But wait a minute. Why is MAF not governing trims? The answer is redundant. Because MAF's not governing trims. And at first I didn't believe it. On various forums, various sites, I thought people were just full of shit. I don't know. It didn't make sense. But they're like, nope. This baby is speed density governed. Speed density has the final word on trims. And so I think to myself, okay, why would they do that? Well, ask yourself this. This Coyote block is in Mustangs. Where else is it? F-150 trucks. How many Mustangs did they sell in 2024? Not a lot. It's something like, I think like 70,000. And then when you look at the F-150 numbers, it's like 800,000. F-150s are an order, if not orders of magnitude, more often sold in the U.S., right? And the F-150s, of course, are speed density governed. And so why give the Mustang guys their own system when it probably makes more economic sense? Guess what? We'll have this 4th generation Coyote block governed by speed density, just like the F-150s, because we're a struggling company. I mean, Ford's hardly struggling, right? But we're a profit-driven company. The economy of scale on the ECU design that we have to create is probably going to be pretty enticing, right? And so then I think to myself, all right, fine, Ford. So your speed density governed, which, okay. So you load up your speed density tables and you've done the math and you've done thousands of hours of bench testing and they're probably totally tied in, right? Mine are 5%, great. So if I want to tune my speed density, following the logic from previous years, and hold on, let me finish fully here, but let me explain my thought process. I can come here to the manifold, where I have a very similar piece of hardware. Right, looks like the other gens. And I have a hose here, which is connected post-throttle body from this intake tube. Pre-throttle body, post-throttle body, heading in. And on the other side, I have another hose coming over here. Pre-throttle body, but it's referencing the other intake. Weird, but let's keep going. So those both come in, they blend, and they come into this hose. This guy right here, who skates down under. And if I can capture this, please bear with me. Sorry. Come on. Okay, so there's the hose. And with the miracle of my torch. Okay. It's heading into the intake manifold, right? Who would have thought? And so if you were to take if you do the standard route, you go to Bosch and you get a sensor, a map sensor, you could tap it right into here with a T. And conveniently, you could probably even mount it right there on that post. And conveniently, you can tap it right here into your AC harness, just like previous generations. And I was ready to do all that. I had ordered the parts. I even got the link cable from HP Tuners to add your own secondary, right? Your secondary signal source for map. And I started digging around some more, and I saw some videos. There's a video from 2024 where one of the guys from a speed shop says, let me break down for you what's different about the intake manifold for the S650. Let's talk about the big difference. Dual throttle bodies, right? And goes on and on and on. And then he says, oh, and by the way, there is a map pressure sensor in the rear of the S650 intake manifold. What? Why didn't anybody tell me? Why didn't they tell me? And now it's like it all comes together. So you've got an SD governed trim system, and you've got a whole bunch of tables that are preloaded, and you have a map sensor, which you can use to adjust trims. And when your map fails, or you just want a backup reference, just like previous generations are map driven and they use SD as backup for transient, Ford basically said, no, let's make it all SD. SD driven, because at any given moment, I've got these nice fast maps that I can reference just to make sure I'm all good. And you can even see patterns in the system. Like when we do a watt pull, it's closed loop the whole time. Which at first I thought was crazy, because how can a MAF-driven system be closed loop at watt? But it's not. It's not MAF-driven. It is SD-driven, and there is a pressure sensor. So, the fundamentals of S650 tuning are getting really used to the SD tables. And when you think about the intake manifold runner control and the 25 tables and everything, right, that's where the soup starts to get made. And so that's what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're heading into SD table territory.